solution is just prevention. Now, seconds away from the draft, this could be, again, another decider. It's the last game that HAQ has to win to even think of a reverse sweep. It's Echo back in the driver's seat. Blue side, Team HAQ answering back. There goes the Kaja, the Glue, and the Joy with a first pick, Eve, while it's Team HAQ banning out the carry, the 1-1, and the Grok. What's a solid swing back? 2 picks to fight that Eve.
I mean, right now, Joy is being banned away, Glue is being banned away, Carry 1-1, all these characters are banned away. I mean, are they considering, I was about to say Grok, and Grok is banned away too, you know, just when I look at this entire draft. So, are they considering Fanny or something like Valentina to copy Eve's ultimate? Because yeah, you have Eve zoning with the real world manipulation, but if you have Valentina, you can copy that. You can also take all the Claude for the counter and a Chow, the pick for ban.
2 dive heroes, right? The Cho and the Claude. You mentioned the Valentina, but I personally am thinking more about the Farsa. Remember game 1, how was Echo able to beat the Eve from the side of Team HAQ? It was by picking up a Farsa, but now Echo has 2 members that can also dive, provide that backline threat that they need, and maybe just counter the Farsa before it's even picked up.
The Farsa is still available though.
True.
But also, this is an early Harith.
I think the earliest Harith we've ever seen
in M4.
At M4.
Oh, this might be one of those very hyper carry Granger jungle kind of situation.
Where you just pick a fast jungler so that you can snowball on through. Again, the term snowball to describe lineups has come up like, what, 3 or 4 times in this series alone. So it's clear that these teams are very much momentum based.
Yep.
And then we'll see how they capitalize on that. One more pick for Team HAQ before we go into the banning phase.
Yeah, because Team HAQ's signature playstyle is the dive, and then pick a lot of dive characters. Here we go, the Valentina. Then copy Jungho, copy Eve, all right. A lot of different situations that you can go with here. It's really, really good pick. Now, why I talk about a Granger? Because I mean, you think about picking Harith. Harith is also a flex, right? You can go to the side lane, and sometimes might go to the jungle. We haven't seen much of it. Most of it in the scrims, we've seen Harith go to the side lane and giving a lot of farm, a lot of lane pressure, so the jungle Granger can actually thrive.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this before, right? I believe Falcon was the one who actually used the Harith and the Granger combination, but that time it was actually the Lunox and the Granger. Lunox in the gold lane. With this combination, yes, there's a lot of lane prio just based on how fast you clear the waves. Mid lane by the Eve and the gold lane on the Harith. With this composition too, you still need that physical damage, and hey, Granger works, right? So I'm looking at it too. I'm thinking about the Granger, but the Martis is to be banned out by Team HAQ. You're also seeing the Hilda ban, which again is setting up for that just vulnerable jungler, but can be the Granger.
Yeah, no, you respect the Min, right? You respect Min.
The Min.
The way that he plays. But now that we've been talking about the Granger so much, the one big danger that he has is if the peel for Team HAQ melts quickly, the whole dive versus dive situation just crumbles for them if they have a Granger jungle. Because you're still a marksman. You have to still consider yourself as a marksman and protect yourself. Now going into the picks after the cool friend, the Hayabusa get banned, is the Granger still looking good?
I think it is. I think it is. I mean, like all the diver ban. The thing about it is, Chow most likely is use it as a support, as a roam position, right? Banning the Hilda is just like, okay, it might be a flex, but we don't care. We don't want any pressure into the jungle at all. So this is giving you a strong signal at this point. We don't want any dive, we don't want any assassin. We want the hyper carry in the jungle. Now, which one are they going to go with? YSS, Roger, all those characters are kind of falling off in early game damage now. But Granger, if you scale into the late game, it can actually one-shot any character from the side of Team HAQ.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Like, for Echo here specifically, right? Yeah. I think I just got on the same page as you guys.
Yep.
Maybe Echo, maybe Carl Teasy, right? But with a Ling on the other end, can it go fast enough?
I mean, it's because right now, if Echo just goes for the Granger, right, you are going to be very vulnerable to the dive that Ling and Cho have. Thing is, though, you're not the sole damage dealer. If you do get targeted, you still have that Zaman Force on the Harith, you still have the Eve, and no Granger. It's the Yi Sun Shin from Carl Teasy. First time at M4. My goodness.
It's a debut. It's a debut alongside the Ruby. So
wow.
I'm guessing that's the roamer. Ruby in the hands of Yaoi.
Oh,
Yi Sun Shin, we mentioned how possibly he could be on the decline, but he did get a little buff in the last patch.
And also, I want to say something about the YSS. This character, the reason why it's not as good as hybrid character compared to Granger is because the meta is heavily focused on tank. But if you look at Team Hawk, there were squishy characters, right? Yeah, Chao might be a little bit tankier, but Valentina, Claude, especially when Claude jumps onto the YSS, he might just jump into his own demise.
Yeah, and also, he got a rework where in his passive, there is now a built-in movement speed, so he can help kite.
Yep.
Oh, man, I don't know, though. Personally, I've tried the Yusun Shin. I'm no Carl Teasy, but it did not work, man. No damage. Even though I just scaled off to the late game, I got all of my items level 15. Again, no Carl Teasy. I'm not a Carl Teasy, but did no damage.
Full disclaimer.
Full disclaimer, I'm no Carl Teasy.
But were you also going against like 2 tanks on the other side?
Yeah, I was up against a lot of dive. That's why I did nothing. I just can't dove on, but I did not have a Yaoi peel as well. So, Yaoi on the Ruby.
Last pick, Phoveus. On paper, it looks amazing. I'm liking it because, again, you have a Yusun Shin with
Harith.
that passive you want to trigger, the Harith.
Ruby.
The Ruby. Yuzhong has a nice dash in there built into his kit.
Yep.
Is this trouble?
I think it is.
For Echo? Are they going to crumble under the demonic force?
Well, the demonic force is going to be a massive weapon that they can use, but look at the crowd. This is a weapon that both teams can use. The support coming in by both Echo and Team Hawk as we get ourselves ready. Let's hear it once again. Tennis indoors and Nyan for Team Hawk and for Echo in game number 4.
As both sides now walking into the game, both teams are trying to get as much vision as they can. They both play really aggressive. Look at Min, looking for vision immediately. And by the way, that's a sexy Ruby skin right there.
Yep, I
wonder what it is.
The Aspirant skin, released a month ago, and you just gotta grab it. I think the timer's running out on that. Go get it. Now, look at this aggressive move by Min. Checking in. Can he get trapped in by Yaoi and Sanji?
Uh-oh, it's also a lane swap. Once again, the Malaysian swap here. As Min jumps in, is able to actually buy some time here, flickers out to safety.
Wow, I mean, already really aggressive. It's Min. Yes, he's getting cornered by 3 people, but remember, it's Min, right? He's unkillable. When he roams around like that, and now he's getting so much vision, you know exactly where everybody is. You can see Ling is finding the invade, and that's the value Main brings on the table. Because you know where enemies are, majority of them, that gives Ling so much rotation options. Here we go.
Uh-oh, that's going to be Min taking low. First blood over to Carl Teasy. Gary's not level 4 just yet. Has to wait a bit, and Carl Teasy so far is doing really good. Gary, though, finally gets level 4. Doesn't decide to commit. Carl Teasy follows through with a Mountain Chakra, now revealing everyone on the map, too.
Impressive target acquisition by Carl Teasy here. M2 Grand Finals MVP. You saw how he knew that the orange wouldn't reset, and then he just picked off Min and then moved on.
Wow.
Yeah, very accurate. Now 15 seconds before the turtle. Min is level 3. We have about 3 level 3s right here, actually, from the side of Hack. And you have more, I think, the same thing, about 3 level 3s from the side of Echo. It's a completely even game so far. Now, with the late game scaling, likewise, this is looking good, actually, to the favor of Echo.
It's just, again, right? Team Hawk were trying their best to invade an enemy team, but it actually just gives Echo a bit of an edge, because now Carl Teasy, he got a first blood. Sanford as well on that winning lane, able to get to the turtle side first. The mid control is fully controlled by Echo. And this is where you start to question, is this Yusun Shin going to actually snowball?
Is this going to change the landscape of our metagame? But again, it's been, what, 2 minutes and a half? 2 minutes and a half, we can't say exactly that Yusun Shin is the new hotness again.
Not yet.
Some people like the meta, somebody don't, but to me, the meta is just versatile, right? I mean,
I agree.
Is it going to change? We don't know, because everything is possible. Like, you can have hyper carry jungle, or you can go to the goal lane. Here we go on the top side, though, Sanford.
Lola going to be able to bring him back now. The Demonic Force is ready, and that's going to be a knockout by the Tempest of Blades. Good kill over to Gary. Lola just funnels it back onto Gary for more damage so that he can actually dive in towards the Yusun Shin later.
And just as Min has done throughout all games in this series, he's doing so much. He's moving around. You never really know where that show is. And I think that's what makes these 2-man engages from Team Hawk so scary, because you're never sure if the Cho is around. You're never sure if Min is around. And look at that. Quickly making work they converted from that 1 kill on Sanford into a turret.
3 minutes in, by the way.
That's an early tower. And again, a lot of people don't see this, but I'll give a lot of credit to Min for giving the vision so Link can roam freely to find the kill on the top side and then move that to a tier 1 tower 3 minutes in. That is absolutely insane because even though the gold looks very similar, there's not too much gold differences right now, but open up the map will open up the snowball. And that's the word, that's the focus of this series.
Yep, about 20 seconds away from the second turtle. Might be more room for Team HAQ to do it because again, they did pop that left part of the map for them, the top lane tier 1. Bottom lane though, what's Benny Cutie to do against Panda, given that they have gone back to their natural lane?
Yeah, now look, the second turtle. YSS already moving the turtle to the blue side. Here we go.
Min gonna be able to jump in now. Look at the Kundo and the way the Dragon bring Yaoi back, but it's gonna be Sanford who finds a petrify onto 3. Gary gets a Tempest Blaze onto Yaoi, finds a kill. Sanford still on the back line, knocking man up, but Gary picks up the turtle and goes back in on the Carl TZ with a double kill now onto Sanji. He's looking for a triple. He dives in under the tier 2, but he's not gonna be able to find it. Sanford still hunting. Lola getting out. Gary dashing out of the wall, but Furious Dive follows it through. Gary's still gonna be able to actually get out Sanford, now caught in a bad situation as he's 1 HP, and that's the kill picked up by Lola. The passive does its thing, and it gets a trade for Sanford, but that is value for Team HAQ.
Oh my god, what a team fight there. You can see the value from the Demonic Force in that team fight in full display. We talk about what to do about this ultimate. You don't really have much choices right now at this point. You just have to wait for Lola to wait out the ult, you bait it, you dash, you commit a team fight, do the poker face that Echo like to do, right? Go bait out a skill and then just wait. I think that's probably the only option you have.
So far, Team HAQ has grown into this series. They are ahead about 2K. Min admitting to the fact that ever since Team HAQ was formed under MPLMY, they were gunning for M4. Imagine that, being a qualifier squad, going straight to becoming champions, competing at the world stage. They catch Yaoi.
Yaoi also getting brought back by the I'm Offended, terrified down. Min still looking for one more knock-up. Yaoi not able to connect his own I'm Offended. But in the enemy jungle, Carl TZ is gonna fall, and this was exactly why we thought it's not gonna work. Gary! Super fast hands as he just styles out of there.
What a style there. I mean, just changing skills. And Carl TZ is definitely falling off, and you can feel like he doesn't have the damage or the survivability. If you don't have the support from Yaoi, it's going to be a problem. And here we go on the bottom side. You can see, thanks to the advantage they got from the jungle, they're able to push a bottom tier 1 tower. Oh, here comes the hook.
Yaoi gets the I'm Offended. Panda still able to get out with the BMI. That's going to be the way Dragon popped in by Min, but it's going to be 2 members taken down. Make it 3. Someone else fell on the other side of the map. Wow, what a fight that was forced in by Echo in the gold lane.
Wow, I mean, they got the tower, but I think the overstayed. The Minute Wave could have just done the job for them, right? I mean, overstaying for 1 extra second would have to do so much for you. And that's exactly what Yaoi did. Took advantage of the situation and find the I'm Offended, and that changed the game.
Given the outcome of that bottom lane siege from Team HAQ, could this be what Echo needed? Could this be that, set of kills that puts him back on the map? Because last we checked, and what was that, a minute or 2 ago, HAQ was just in control, right? What was that, almost 2K gold?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, because I'm seeing Benny Cutie, I have my eyes on the Storm. That Zaman Force is not quite lethal yet. Like, he has to spend so much time. They have to make sure that Team HAQ is where they need to be to get those attacks in, to get those spells in, that Synchro Fissure. And I'm guessing Echo needs to be on top maybe for a little longer.
Yeah, I agree.
They got to grow that lead.
They gotta grow that lead, and they gotta start shutting down the gold laner, right? Because right now they're doing a great job at shutting down Carl TZ, but Benny, okay, right now he's not a threat. He's been scaling though. He's been farming pretty well as a lane that's been, as a laner that has his turret taken down already. He's 2-0. He's farming pretty well. If he gets to those item power spikes, it might be just a turnaround for Echo.
But at this point, you gotta think, like, Ling is 4-0-1. It's even a bigger threat. Thinking about YSS is only skilling off. It's obviously gonna get more damage as we go. But, I mean, Ling is still going to one-shot him going to the late game, especially with Phobius as a threat at the same time. Like, where are you going to dash?
Yep, given that 3 man sweep from Echo. The Filipino crowd has gone and made up their own cipher, a little dance circle out in the stands. But as we speak, Team HAQ back into their dominating ways here in game number 4. 6 minutes in, no turtles so far after that first one for Echo. So I can only imagine what Carl TZ is feeling. Is this the Yushin Shin you were talking about, Mirko?
Yeah, I mean, again, based on my experience, I've played like 5 games on the Yushin Shin.
The new Yushin Shin.
Yeah, the new Yushin Shin in this patch, right? And even when I get the late game, even when I get a few kills early on, I just don't deal as much damage as you would normally do. And now with just Panda also scaling up, I feel like Carl TZ might be losing to every single damage-dealing member from Team HAQ later on, even in the late stage when he has full items.
Yeah, not only do you lose on damage, you also have to consider all the squad controls going to be diving you. And speaking of dive, bottom lane, Gary is definitely playing the carry role at this point. I mean, just finding push after push, and now Monitor Shocker, it's just way too much.
And the siege as well, you can see.
Every tower.
Yep, THQ still in control, now 3K ahead, almost 8 minutes in. Let's check out the items, exactly what is Benny Cutie building up towards. Because, again, this is the one point I think that Echo is ahead on, right? That gold lane matchup.
5,700 gold compared to the Claude, which is still standing at 5,500. Honestly, looking at it right now.
Look at the Ling, though.
Yeah, the Ling.
3.5K ahead.
3.5K go ahead.
And look at the itemization, right? He went for the Berserker's Fury into the Windtalker, and now, if he gets that Endless Battle, man, Echo's gonna have a hard time, even if they have Yaoi to peel. That's so much damage, and even true damage coming off the Endless Battle.
Yeah, this is only gonna be scary and scary as Team HAQ continue to extend a control in the game. 12 seconds before Lord. The thing about the Ruby pick is, Ruby's early game is really not that strong. They're not too much CCs, they're not too much damage, and you can't really check vision because it's not that tanky either. So you can see now Ruby, unless he lands that hook, he's not going to be a primary tank. If you match that with Cartesi, who's also squishy, speaking of squishy, here comes Team HAQ.
Uh-oh, that's going to be the Demonic Force on towards Sanford, who pops in Black Dragon form. Min, so trying to disrupt, that's the I'm Offended, only connecting onto Min right now as he's going to be melted down, but that's going to be Sanford picking up the kill onto Panda. Man, able to trade that back as Lola, still caught in the midst. Demonic Force buying a little bit of time before he gets bursted down by Benny. Killing Spree popped in, that's a 2-for-1, but Team HAQ find Lord.
Team HAQ won that trade, I believe it was worth it. A little too messy, but Echo are finding what they need to find on the map to eventually get back into this game, shrinking that huge gold lead. It's a astronomical lead that Team HAQ has, especially on the team members that matter. But so far, I just noticed now, man, almost 10 minutes in, Echo only pushed 1 turret.
Yeah, again, it's all about map control, right? In the first 3 minutes, we saw not too much goal differences, but because the first tower got taken down, that quickly snowballed into bottom tier 1, the top tier 2. Now with Lore coming in, even though the Team HAQ lost 2 people, Team Echo couldn't push a singular tower. Now the mid-tier one's gonna take him down because of all the crashing coming to the jungle.
Oh, Carl TZ is gonna be assassinated there. Man, 1 HP, Sanji finds the damage, but Gary's gonna be able to actually get out. Lola now under the turret, jumps into the Demonic Force, not able to find Yaoi, jumps in once again. Gary finds the kill, Panda jumps in with the flicker too, but it's not enough. Benny and Sanji get out. It is a tier 1 turret taken down by Team HAQ as Gary looks to try to look for the base turret now. Sanji coming in, that's the base turret passive, and Gary needs to back away. Tier 2 now in the mid lane, gonna be targeted down and sieged down by Team HAQ.
That's a clean capitalization by Team HAQ of that small win. Again, 3 for 3 across the board. I'm feeling the problems with the Yushin Shin now. Again, you have the Yushin Shin, you have the Harith. They both need to hit their opponents for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
They're pure DPS, so the box that Sanji's setting up doesn't seem like it's enough.
Yeah, and also they need to scale. But if you think about how much pressure Chao is giving on the map, it's not allowing them to scale, right? Ling is able to split push, find more tower, proc the high ground, the high ground tower's passive as well. I mean, this is too much pressure from all over the map from Team HAQ, and it seems like the draft that Echo has is not paying them any dividends.
I agree. I was one of the first downers towards the Yushin Shin, right? The damage, even towards the late game, based on my experience, isn't enough to really become that hyper carry.
I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, given that it was a nice way to kind of, you know, stop the whole Valentina situation. It's a DPS hero that, yes, it does provide vision, but it's not a game changer when it comes down to a team fight. But yeah, again, it might have been a concept that needed more time in the oven, might have needed more reps. But we'll see if there is a comeback, because it's not over quite yet. There's still inhibitors standing for Echo.
Yeah, and here we go. Gary split pushing again. He's not pushing that much. He's not completely shoving the wave. He gives the wave a gentle tap, and this allows the wave to accumulate. And then Ling, thanks to mobility, is able to roam to the Lord almost immediately. So now, again, Team HAQ has control over the map going to the Lord fight.
Again, it's that wave control from Team HAQ, right? They're able to actually slow push the waves, and they're going to be able to create so much pressure onto that XP lane where Echo is not really going to be able to respond to either play. There's always that split push threat with the Ling, and also that Lord take that's is constantly threatening Echo. And Echo, at this point, need to choose one, or maybe they need to just defend at this point. Even if they go for a 5v5, it's not a 50-50, it's more of a 70-30. As it stands.
Yeah. Most things that Team HAQ have their eyes on come for free. That's what this 4K gold lead is giving them. And for Echo, as you mentioned, it's a hard decision. Like, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Dave.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I don't know what to begin, but here it comes.
Yowie with I'm Offended finding Gary and Min, but Gary's going to be able to get out, but that's going to be a lot of damage placed on the back line. Panda flickering out, Man going to fall, but the demonic force now by Lola over towards Benny with one more coming down. It's a 1-for-0 for Echo. They bought a bit more time, but look, again, Echo, they lost a lot of HP there. Now it's still, despite that pick, going to be Team HAQ who has more pressure on the Lord, but Echo, they're using this man advantage really well, forcing it instantly.
Speaking of when you don't know what to do, it's the decision making. Like, how decisive can you be? How fast can you make your decision and execute on it? That's gonna make the difference, right? You saw Yowie jumped in with the hook, and that made a whole lot of difference. But that difference is quickly minimized as HAQ's now making a move on the Lord again.
4v5, it's gonna be the retreat battle. Gary wins it! Carlteasy gonna be kicked down, locked up by Minus. Panda jumps in with Blazing Duet to the back line. Benny, now in the midst of it all, jumping back and forth, getting a kill, getting shut down though by the likes of Panda. Min still surviving, his stats gonna be Sanford running away. The Furious died by Man, as that's gonna be enough to lock him down. 4-for-1, Team HAQ on a run now to equalize in Game 4.
Oh no, this looks familiar. It's just one defender left. Yowie's gonna take about 5 or 6 seconds before he can come to help defend. Sanji puts up the ult. Will Lola fall? Nope. All right. No. I think Echo's still in this.
Yeah.
Sanji still dishing out damage, poking them down. Mid lane base server gonna fall. BMI popped in back. Yowie very close to getting that I'm Offended. But like you mentioned, Leo, not enough just yet. Team HAQ back away.
Now, if the Lord come close for the charge, that's another free Hagman Tower. And remember, all at the same time, bottom wave is slowly accumulating towards the high ground of Team Echo. Team HAQ, all they have to do is push this Lord in. Can they do it?
Benny QT finds a massive pick, and that's 2 on the board. Benny is 8-1. He is single-handedly stopping the end from Team HAQ.
Is this the key to victory? At this point, it's all on Benny. Can you find the crucial kills onto Panda, onto Gary, because only him has the damage to do it. Carlteasy is still not there yet. He's level 15. This is a miracle. This is your situation. Can you find the damage? Now, the good thing about YSS is also the ultimate. The Mountain Shower gives you so much vision, which allows you to know, okay, is the Ling split pushing? How do we answer this? That's the benefit of YSS. And here comes a dive.
Time for the blades. But that's Yowie! Yowie to perfection! Yowie with an absolutely insane I'm Offended to catch Gary.
Ruby is one of the natural predators of most assassin junglers that have high mobility. And right here, we're seeing the rubber band effect. They're shrinking that gold lead. Now at 2K, they're going to make a play here in the jungle, trying to go for that main artery, that mid lane tier 1. So far, Echo not out of the woods just yet, but we're seeing signs of life.
Yes, and also, Yowie has a flicker now. That's even a bigger threat. If Yowie before the flicker have to only play knowing where Ling is, knowing how your jungler play, but now he can actually engage like the lore fight previously.
Oh, that stopped the
Here
conceal. Min looking for an engage as Lola jumps in with the demonic force. Min flickering forward. Yowie doing the same thing as Dasby Sanford splitting them back. and Lola and Min, they're isolated from the team. This is it. Min losing the immortality, but it's going to be able to actually get away. That's the disengage coming in with Gary rotating again. Benny, 1v4 in the midst of it all, still surviving and then stopping Team Hawk's engage.
The storm, the typhoon, the hurricane took on 5 members of Team Hawk. Enough time to buy for Echo to defend. And we are sitting at dead even.
Now this is a deja vu because Team Hawk has a tendency to go a little bit of sloppy in the mid to late game, right? Sometimes we saw that being punished heavily in the previous games. And this is a series, this is the moment where they have to hold steady and go for the next objective. You saw Chow, right? You had Min and Lola jumped in by themselves, disconnected from the team. That's very uncharacteristic of Hack, who plays very, very disciplined most of the time in the entire series so far. Here we go.
Yaoi again finding Panda, but Panda's going to be able to actually dash out. Benny again, looking for the damage right now. The Blazing Duet will be popped. Gary to the back line as that's going to be the Demonic Force popped in as well. Yaoi with no I'm offended cannot actually peel for his team. Lola, Demonic Force once again onto the back line, onto Kaltizi, but still going to be able to kite away. You can see the damage being placed on. Lola still surviving for a bit longer. Kaltizi finally finishes him off, but Sanford falls as well. Both of the XP laners have been taken down, but the real world inflation comes down. Yaoi missing with I'm offended. Team Hawk still trying to get an opening here around the Lord. Yaoi gonna be taken low. Min on the flanks. Panda in the mid lane, looking for the base. Right now, as Gary jumps in, helping the mid laner out. Kaltizi finishes Min off, using the mountain shotgun to buy some time. The mid lane will be pushed in. Team Hawk with 1 cannon minion. Kaltizi rotating down. They're getting it. Gary and Panda will end the game to equalize against the tournament favorites.
A taste of their own medicine. Echo loses game 4 at the brink of a reverse sweep via a backdoor split push play by Team Hawk.
Oh my god, what a play. The Echo style onto their own base. That is insane. Now, when we saw the Panda go in there, Eve responded, but Eve alone is not enough because Hawk has a lane.
They had the tools.
What a series, man. That's all I have to say. What a series.
They had the tools, they had the setup, and again, Echo, at least at this point, they knew that it was possible, but they just could not respond fast enough. That's what the lead Team Hawk had this whole game bought for them. And then you see here how one half of the Twins, how Panda was just so relieved to have been able to pull that off. Oh, careful with the water. Oh.
Man, oh man. Started off as a dominant run by Echo, 2-0. We all counted Hawk off, except the fans who were constantly cheering. 2-0 down, and now 2-2. They have equalized, and it's back to a best of 1.
Hold a second. Now, in the beginning, we talked about this is a battle of support, right? Look at me finding those vision, finding those controls. Game 5 is a battle of discipline. Are we going to go back to Echo's textbook style domination, or are they going to try something new? Are we going to continue with more different style of gameplay?
I don't want to jump the gun and have the analysts have put words in their mouth, but something tells me they might have something to say about that Eastern Shin, about how Echo kind of played around the fact that there was a Valentina on the other side, and then they, you know, essentially pulled off what they did in game 3. It may have been the same case of them having learnings from that game prior and then trying to fix it now and being behind the curve. But then again, this is just Team Hawk learning as well so quickly. They are picking up, and they gave Echo a taste of their own medicine. I can't believe it. It was a split second decision that made them get this victory. Let's go ahead and throw it over to our analysts. It's Trex, Gideon, and Wolf. It's a best of 1. Fellas, what do you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the analysis desk, and Leo, I think we are very, very excited. I think the fans are also very, very excited. This is going to be our first Game 5 of the knockout stage. Definitely very hype about it. Gideon, you know, I brought you some tissues thinking you were going to need them, but I think we might be able to throw these to the crowd.
Keep that. Keep that to yourself. because for now, right now, the ultimate comeback is happening. And before this, Wolf wasn't stressing out. He's just relaxing on his analyst table. He's like, no, this is not, I'll be fine. But now he's sweating.
Yeah, but I did kind of predict that this will go to a game number 5. Not because I want it to be a game number 5, but because of the fact that Yisenshin has not been proven to be a good pick. In many points in this game, we saw that it could be, like there's a potential, but ultimately the heroes that Team Hack were able to get were just too good against the Ling. As you saw, against the Yisenshin. There's the Ling, there's the Phobius. Had it been that Team Hack played this more cleanly, I would have said this would be a one-sided, but it is what it is. They still won the game.
I mean, would we exactly say that it was the YSS, or would we just say that Team Hawk got the counters down, right? With the Phobius pick, with those things. I mean, can we completely count out that hero? Was it something wrong with the item build, or was it just Team Hack dominating in the draft?
Well, I think a lot of this really boils down to looking back into history of what the meta used to be when Yisenshin was supposed to be dominant meta, and then Ling started to come on in, and then Phobius as well. A lot of these new heroes and people are trying to figure that out. At the very least, Team Hawk had a very good idea as to how to handle these high mobility, multiple dashing style types of heroes. Although I will say, Benny QT was giving off a phenomenal performance with his 10-1 and 2 overall KDA, absolutely crushing it. But as Wolf mentioned before, Yisenshin is not in the meta or highly prioritized for a reason.
We actually had a preview of how hard it is for the Yisenshin to play this game, because during the first seconds of the game, we saw like the split screen when they were trying to go to take the purple buff. Yisenshin was slower compared to the Ling. And that's already bad news for the side of Echo, because now it allowed Team Hack to have a hero like Ling who is very greedy to get away with the early game. And you saw Gary actually played this well. He got away with the greed, and he was able to get a lot of farm, but at the same time, was able to utilize it against Echo. He was very aggressive, was splitting the map, he was making so many problems for Echo to deal with in the early to the late stages of the game.
You know, for the first 2 games, we saw a whole lot of Echo pictures up there.
Yeah.
We saw those bars really creeping towards the side of Team Hack, but now Team Hack coming back. Not only that, I mean, we spent 2 games wondering about how Team Hack was gonna pick up the pieces here. So now we get to talk about how is Echo gonna pick up the pieces here? Can they take this series back?
I think one thing that we have to mention and really observe is that the competition is getting harder and harder. You know, the skill gap is getting closer and closer. The teams are becoming more accustomed to each other's play style, and you're noticing that the composition is becoming more similar here. So that's why when I'm thinking about Team Hawk, I'm thinking about their MVP.
Yeah.
Taking a look at it, does look like it's gonna be Gary. That is 2 MVPs in a row, Wolf.
Yeah, you know, I have been spoiled watching like Kyrie and Carl TZ from the Philippines, but my goodness, Gary is amazing. He's proving his worth in the international scene. Here at the world stage, he is performing so well. Even in the games that Team Hack lost, he still performed so well. Can still remember the tie run all throughout the group stages, and even before M4 started. And now we're seeing Ling, and people have been hyping this up. I heard you guys from a Malaysian team. I mean, this is a treat to watch. The way that he dodged so many of the skill shots coming out from Echo, and the way that he managed to find the pressure across the map. You can see his influence literally
everywhere.
The first 5 minutes is everywhere. He's amazing, man.
You know,
he's playing a different game, honestly.
Most definitely. And back in the group stage day 4, they asked a lot of us casters who we thought the MVP was that day. And I was the one guy who was like, Gary. Because I can see it, man. From then to now, he has definitely been a star on the team. So let's take a look at these highlights and see exactly what Gary's been doing.
Yeah, jumping straight into the highlights, the first thing that we have to mention are these fights around the purple buff specifically, because again, a lot of the contestants ended up on this side of the map, especially since the bottom side have been completely wiped off the jungle very efficiently because of the lane dominance provided by Gary in his own lane. But then we start to see the similarities between a lot of these team fights, like Sanford is trying to cut off the backline from the front. Yeah. And the only real difference is that Ling has the mobility to join with the Phobius to dive the enemy team. Anybody who is low is under threat of Ling.
now. And you can see between the two teams, when it comes to like their ultimate, the value of the integrity of their ultimates, you can see that Echo is quite more ultimate dependent as compared to the side of Team Hack. You saw that whenever the dragon form is down for the side of Echo, it's very difficult for them to fight during the team fights. Whereas if you're looking at Team Hack, when the Tempest of Blade is already used, Gary has an option to go for an assassination play or maybe a split play. When the Claude's ultimate is not up, at least he has the constant damage from the Art of Thievery as well as the BMI and Flicker usages. So there's so much left when it comes to the damage department aside of Team Hack, whether or not they have ultimates.
Most definitely. Now, last question from me, I think, is we've seen a lot of evolution of the past drafts, and I guess not, because right now we're not going to be able to talk anymore, I guess, guys. Sorry. I've enjoyed it so much. But right now, our wonderful hosts are going to be interviewing these players. So thank you guys for listening to us. We'll see what happens next time in the episode of the Analysis Desk. Let's send it over to the host.
Thank you, analysts! Clara and I are here on the floor with some Echo fans!
Woo! Make some noise!
Are you guys Filipinos?
Of course not.
Oh, you're not?
Of course not.
I'm not.
You're
We are not.
You're all from?
Indonesia.
You're all Indonesian cheering for Echo Philippines. So
Yes.
wait, hold on. You want to see Echo in the grand finals, not Indonesia?
Of course.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, what's so great about Echo Philippines?
First of all, mostly it's because that I am the Aura Fire fans.
Aura Fire, yeah.
Yes, and then we have our brothers in Philippines, that is Echo. And that's why we Aura fans come here supporting our brother Echo Philippines.
So tell us, we'll pass the mic. What's so great about Echo for you guys?
Yeah. Well, it's everything, anything. It's the the make, it's everything.
Who? Which player?
Yeah, yes. And I love Yawi.
Yawi!
You have something to say to
Grabe
Yawi.
si
You
Yawi.
have something to say to Yawi. Right now, he's watching you. Ngomong sesuatu.
Yawi, mahal kita.
Oh! A lot of people are saying mahal kita to Yawi. What about you guys? Which player are you rooting for?
Boleh ngomong Indo, boleh, boleh.
Sanji keren banget.
Sanji, you're so cool. You can say something? You can say something to Indonesia in Indonesia.
Sanji keren banget.
Sanji again.
Oh,
Sanji is
wow.
so cool. Are you agree that you are all wants Echo to be in the grand final? Setuju gak sih kayak Echo bakal di grand final nih?
Yes,
Atau siapa?
kita yakin banget Eko bakal di grand final.
Wow.
But wait, wait. I see some people here wearing Echo right over here. Hi.
Machin is from Indonesia.
Come over here. Hi. Hi, are you guys Indonesian? Where are you from?
No, we're not. We're from the Philippines.
Philippines! Okay.
We flew away from the Philippines just to support the Filipinos, especially Echo, with these guys, right?
All right. How about for you? Okay, let us know which of the Echo Philippine players really amaze you. What's your name?
My name is OSX.
OSX.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Now let us
amazes me
know.
most is Benny Cutie, the storm. It's in
storm.
Indonesia.
The typhoon. How well is he doing right now?
Oh, double MVP of the game. Tuloy lang. Kaya mo yan.
Right. How about for you?
So good.
I'm cheering for Benny Cutie as well.
Benny Cutie. Okay, now if you can say something to Benny Cutie right now, what is your name?
My name is Manjin.
Manjin. All right, Manjin, what do you want to say to Benny Cutie?
Benny Cutie, go.
Benny Cutie, go.
You got this.
Bye-bye.
Benny Cutie, you got this.
Okay.
Shout out to the weather people out there, to all the weathermans.
Let's do this together. When I say echo loud, you say echo proud. 3, 2, 1. Echo loud.
Echo proud.
Echo loud.
Echo proud.
All right. Lots of energy happening
so
right
great.
here. We have the 5th and final game. Here we go. Let's see who's going to win. Casters.
5th game.
It comes down to this, a single game of Mobile Legends to confirm who will be moving on through to the upper bracket in the next round. It's Echo going up against Team HAQ. At your service, my name is Leo, joined here by Mirko and Assassin Dave, and we have been calling this hell of a matchup, and boy oh boy, I did not expect for this to go 5 games. I have to be honest, fellas, as soon as we walked and loaded into game 3, could have sworn that was it, right? I could have sworn that was it, but it seemed like there was more in the tank for Team HAQ, and that's on me. I have to admit, I thought that they were going to crumble to the pressure, but it seems like it's Echo who needs a little bit more of reassurance, who needs to recalibrate. Mirko, your thoughts?
The caster curse, right? We said, game 3, especially after the draft, we were like, all right, the draft, it looks like Echo is going to be able to take it here, especially considering, again, that Akai that we thought was going to go to the jungle. But then, I believe, Echo, they overthink it, right? They overthought it in game number 3. And after that, I feel like, again, they were a bit too confident. I love the confidence coming in, trying to pull off the Yi Sun-shin too, but in this match, when you were already 2-1, one more game to the equalizer, to get into another just best of 1, it's a bit too risky for my liking.
I may have made a few wrong calls throughout this series already, and that's on me. I apologize, but we have to get back into the current situation. The Malaysians may drop one of the tournament favorites into the lower bracket where they will have to fight for their lives. All right, tournament life.